perhaps.
Right, and a hero that is very competent at, you know, joining in after a Mars arena gets dropped down, or there's a really good lasso, or whatever it is that ends up happening. But it's interesting to think about a little bit more, because again, you come into that last pick, and there were a couple of different options. You could have gone for something in the Southeast Asia style of a Monkey King, or obviously Spectre was banned, but those types of heroes. And instead, Aries say, you know what, we're going to double down on initiation, give ourselves kind of a new win condition, which is this Dawnbreaker finding the Drow. And I mean, we'll see how it works out. You know, two of the things that Drow has in her kit to get away from people, the Hurricane Pike and also that, you know, Gust, not going to be effective against the Dawnbreaker if Starbreaker with, you know, Shard is going on.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it all goes. See, especially how these lanes are going to end up playing out. How the bottom lane is really going to go is what I'm watching. Are they going to be able to bully a Drow plus Tree?
Yeah.
You know, this is a really strong lane. Sure, they've got a Rubik and Mars, which has been, I mean, any lane with Rubik feels like it's just been godly as what?
Dude, Felix, he's been having a great season overall.
That's the ward.
Yeah.
That was the mid ward. I mean, he didn't take it. I mean, we've seen that happen quite a bit of times too, but getting rid of the courier right off the bat, that's an excellent start there for the side of Knights. And looks like it is 3 runes as well for them, so bit of a gold advantage. So 25 each from the courier and 40 each from all those runes. Nice.
Yeah, and you know, coming in as the clear favorites in this one were Knights, having taken down, you know, I think Nat was talking about the opening of the series, taking down all of the same opponents that Aries has played against and hadn't been able to get a victory against. If they can come away with the win here, it would be a really big turnaround, particularly after what happened in that game number 1. So we'll have to watch and wait and see what it is that ends up happening. And talk to me a little bit about this Dawnbreaker carry. Is it pretty much a very similar build to what you see out of the position 3, just with a little bit more farm?
A little bit more farm and a little slight item deviation, right? I think it was Duraccio who was the one who's doing it a lot last year, and you go the Deso build, right? So you just have this explosive timing with your Starbreaker. But we'll see if that is the case, because I haven't been able to see it since... I don't think I've seen a carry Dawn, actually. Maybe I've seen one since it was played so much last year, but it's mostly just played as offlane, so we'll see what the build will be. Probably just phase Falcon Blade, and then depending on how game is going, he'll decide which next item he wants to go for, because Shard is also super valuable this game, right? Versus Puck, you get coiled, you click Starbreaker, and it actually dispels the coil off of yourself, so we'll see how Ulu feels and how the game state is.
Yeah, for everybody that hasn't seen that before, it's one of the dumber interactions in Dota, particularly if you're a Puck player, but really nice if you're a Dawnbreaker player. And the other big switch up that we saw was this matchup down bottom of the Mars facing off against the Drow. So obviously, Arena eats up those regular right clicks, but you can go for the good old multi-shot through the Arena if you manage to find an avenue for it.
Yeah, and they have great defensive potential here for Ego. We already see XCJ even using Leech Seed off creeps just to keep Ego nice and healthy, so that he can keep just getting these last hits versus this Mars and Rubik.
5-1 so far. Trading hits a lot, but not always able to get the last hits on these creeps here. It's a little bit close on it.
Yeah, we'll be able to get most of those last finishers. As he's doing, I mean, so much harassment down here. You actually see even the Mars has gone for the Bulwark just to absorb some of these hits from the Drow, and still getting bullied a lot. They're down to 1 Tangle left down here on the Dire side.
No, that's a lot of pressure, man. And yeah, has to bring in the mangoes into his inventory for TK to try and survive. They're also simultaneously going and unblocking the camp for XCJ. Can't really even bully them that hard when they move on over to the side and keep the tree out of the lane.
Yeah, now the lane that we haven't really gotten to touch on is the big lane, right? From both games, this was the lane that kind of felt like it determined so much of the pacing of the game. Alacrity versus White Album. Alacrity playing his signature Puck. A good matchup versus Batrider for, honestly, all stages of the game. You have so many ways to play around, disrupt the Batrider from getting initiations. Until the Bat has BKB, the game is actually so difficult for White Album, it does feel. And Alacrity, 17-6 already, 18-6 even, versus that 12-3, off to a great start.
Yeah, having a much better time of it. And, you know, you can see that he can play even a little bit aggressive here onto him whenever he wants to.
He's so confident in these type of matchups. Even buys the gloves a haste early on. Doesn't need the bottle since he's got all those stick charges from the Batrider, and he's just harassing him back. So White Album will never be able to go for an aggressive play as top.
Felix
Fine,
is going to
Felix.
fall. Yeah, I've seen something there that Alacrity's doing against the bat that I've never seen before. He's phase shifting the sticky napalms, so it's not getting the full stack up there either. He's getting like 2 or so, and then he's able to back away and, you know, not get under fire.
Yeah, these are lane monsters, as we like to call them, these players. 12k MMR plus, I think on both of them, if I'm not mistaken. Spot him. Steps up a bit far.
The spear tries to get away. XCJ on the case, and they will get a stun. But TK now, he's the one that's going to be eating the brunt of it. So tries to get out of there, but it's not going to happen.
That's even with a Gust skilled level at level 2. That's actually really interesting. Not going for the multi-shot early on. Just wanting some type of protection, I guess, which now they have so many ways to keep this Drow alive.
Yeah. Double Wraithband, too, just maxing out these stats down here. Ego's going to have a really good game, it feels like. And likewise, top, we saw that kill that happened onto the Hoodwink. It feels like Ulu is going to have a pretty good time, too. Already has that Falcon Blade dud, but the rotation moving in, finding White Album. Got him there, the orb, claiming it. No.
He's got stick.
Close enough.
Stick Fairy Fire. They don't want to go for a dive play and get turned on. But yeah, feels like the start to the game right now already for Knights is feeling fantastic, especially with that Drow lineup, with this Puck having such an excellent start too. Ulu feels like he's going to have to be that saving grace for his team in this mid game after we see all these lanes already going off. His bottom again.
In trouble. Shanxi gets hit, gets slowed. Ego. I mean, even if they don't get the kill, there's so much pressure being put on, and Flyby having a much tougher time of it. Sheep was talking about the CM versus Broodmother matchup. And this is what you've anticipated seeing. Tries to get out of there. One more hit. Nuke. Red Panda. He got him.
Nicely done.
Snipe.
All right, yeah, this is the big winner lane here for the side of Aries. So gonna have to have a really explosive start to be able to help these lanes and make those aggressive plays with that Dawn ult. It's gonna be online really early because of these kills. So that could be the thing that opens up and gives that Mars a little bit better space. They set up onto the Drow. A big Dawn ult comes in so early on. Probably why we see Ego going for that early point in Gust. Usually we've been seeing most of them taking it at 5 anyway, but just wanting to have that defensive capability as Rune spawns bottom.
Goes for it there. And Alacrity, it's a DD for TK. XCJ trading hits with them, but you look at how hard that Rubik hits now. It's got to get out of harm's way.
Oh my, double bounty rune too.
Mew mew, and he's away.
Okay, can't quite get more aggressive there. All right.
So we were talking a little bit about the struggles that Brood's having up top, but if we're honest, he's actually having a slightly better time than this Mars has been. You know, Mars hasn't gone down yet, hasn't died, but a lot of denies in his face, and of course the slight gold lead into the favor of Brood, but not by a huge margin, is feeling like he's right on the edge constantly for this Mars.
Flyby's been really good on his Broodmother, so the lane, it's bound to be difficult versus this Dawn and CM as Felix gets deleted as well, too, from Ulu. Should have ways to recovery outlet.
Alacrity wanting to make something of this here, but yeah, as soon as they back away, he realizes he can't make that move.
They're really tanky. It's a 1200 HP Dawnbreaker. He'd have to just settle for a Crystal Maiden kill, but looks like he's lingering top, props for a bottle fill.
And yeah, bottle fill
middle tower is under
comes
attack.
in. Does he stick around that much longer? He also got treads.
He doesn't want to give that lane to the bat for so long. I think he
Okay.
knows that he's doing excellent versus White Album.
Yeah, he's actually almost 1,000 gold ahead of him. Wow. That's pretty big.
Yeah, and they can make easy rotations when Coil is up. If they have like 2 heroes and the Bat Rider's pushed up too far. Right now, a little tanky. Does have the raindrop in that wand finished up, so he can't go for this solo, but if he brings his support in, easy for Alacrity to perhaps set up onto White Album.
Yeah.
Oh, attacked his own ward. Whoopsie.
That happens.
If Alacrity saw that, he knows there's a ward there, because he has vision on the high ground, so it could be a quick D-ward if he was quick to see it.
Phase boots completed now for the Dawn. On top of that Falcon Blade.
He's
Felix
6 too.
moves in, gets the silence, gonna orb down south, recognizing the wards in that area.
But TK's there already for the rune, so we'll be able to give it to White Album. Nicely done from the side of Aster.Aries. Knowing that the lanes aren't going perfectly for them, 2 of those definitely suffering, but double checking runes to make sure that the puck can't pop off on rune control.
Right. Does again leave the Mars alone down here bottom, and he's getting close to level 6 actually. So level 6s on offlaners, the
They
next
could get
big
ego.
thing to watch for.
They got the Dawn ult. It's coming.
They immediately jump in, find him there, but the stun didn't connect.
Pulls him
Gust
out.
to push away, and the coil, the rotation, Alacrity, buying time for his carry to get out. Look at the hoodwink! Oh, it's connected. White Album trying to make this play happen, and it will be enough with the spear coming through to find the kill. They use the coil now, but Alacrity, he's still right on top of White Album. With the damage coming in, the hoodwink there, it's a double kill for XCJ of all people.
Ooh, bit of a mess up there. Spell usage by Aster.Aries, not the cleanest. The spear, it pushes him to the tree, which actually doesn't let that whole Dawn ult connect all that damage, the stun either, and they have time for the puck to respond. And then a wasted lasso, trying to go for a tree, but it's a tanky tree with backup. Quick rotation. Knights, they saw it coming, and Felix, a gorgeous bushwhack onto 3.
Yeah, only 2 points in that. You start thinking about if that was one level higher, maybe you're actually killing everybody off as well. Red Panda kind of left alone now. They turn on to him, but with the Dawnbreaker moving into position, Flyby in some trouble. Don't quite manage to get the kill, and well, he's coming to snipe off Red Panda again.
No mana.
He's in trouble. Flyby, oh, it's gonna get dropped. TK kills him off. So a little bit exuberant there on the Broodmother, and gets punished.
But seeing that mid differential, as we said, this has kind of been the dictator of both games. Who's able to dominate early game. It's 1,400 gold difference between Alacrity and White Album. And now Alacrity even finds a power rune.
Yeah, that arcane is nice.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm seeing Felix. I think he's got a couple stacks also prepared in the jungle to boost up Alacrity even more so. As Drow now goes to jungle, they give the tree the lane. So now, much harder for them to utilize this Mars ult and Dawn ult to be able to try to pressure this Drow Ranger. Knights. Looking good in this early game.
Yeah, I mean, you're still incredibly farmed with the Dawnbreaker. You look at the net worth, it's top of the marks, but you can sort of see that there could be some issues there. And particularly, I feel like if they wanted to make a rotation, this would be a good time to try and kill Ulu.
It looks like it's going to be a really different item build coming out from Ulu. Is he maybe going for like an armlet? He's got a Gloves of Haste coming out.
Wait, what?
Isn't it? It's an armlet or Midas, right? So, all right, interesting there from Ulu. Maybe feeling like they are starting to fall behind and want some Midas for some recovery outlet. I haven't seen Armlet Dawnbreaker since the hero first got added, so curious to see what build it's going to be. That just means it's not Deso, it's not that early Shard or BKB kind of timing.
I feel like Midas is a trap, if I'm going to be real.
Coil.
And going to break that one. They have Overgrowth, they have Bushwhack, they have everything. Dawnbreaker ulti coming in, he's in trouble.
That's
Ulu
aggressive.
Sticks around and wants to go now. They'll find XCJ. They brought numbers for the rest of Aries, so he's going to be safe.
Good steal there, instantly from TK, gets the Overgrowth, so perhaps that can be something that lets him get a further catch.
I was thinking that Knights would have more numbers nearby, and with that Alacrity puck could have turned onto him.
I think they're okay with this kind of thing happening, right? Because they lose a tree, but now Flyby, he's not playing versus the Dawn in lane, so he can now start to take out that top tower.
Yeah.
And a quick smoke. The Arcane Rune was used before that coil, so it's going to be back up in about 10 seconds. They want to try to find White Album.
This would be a really nice kill for them.
And it's right around another power rune, too.
And moves on in. It's up top. It's a regen. White Album retreating back to the jungle. And, well, with that movement, Knights... I mean, that's the thing, right? They saw Alacrity go down there. They saw the coil. And, well, it looks like it doesn't matter. They still get to kill onto TK.
Instantly going to get dewarded, though.
Yeah.
Felix does give that one away. But now, top, Flyby's alive. And Alacrity, he's actually found the stacks. He sees a double stack around Hardcamp, and now they've seen that triple stack Ancient that was prepped. Difficult for them to really take this one away, but at least they know that it's there, so perhaps they could look to contest when Aries looks to start clearing that one out. 2K lead already, and that's not the way that Aries' draft is meant to play. They want to be playing with this gold lead advantage with the way that they've set up their Dawnbreaker carry, Mars offlane, and Bat. This is not a lineup that wants to be able to just play behind. They want to be playing ahead and setting the tempo themselves.
It does look like it's going to be the Armlet Dawnbreaker.
Okay,
so
thank God.
Yeah, like if it's Midas, it's GG time, right?
Yeah,
but
not a fan.
I think that this Armlet has some potential here. And like, you talk about those stacks, for instance. You can definitely take those a lot quicker with the Armlet.
It also gives him just like that plus raw armor versus Drow Ranger that sometimes I think people will forget about.
Felix, he finds one. Red Panda taking damage. Alacrity trying to get the finish here. Drops the coil. Gets out. Quick and easy blow up. But Mars, the combo. They're right on top of him. They get 2 kills in exchange for that CM. It cost a lot, but well worth it.
Yeah, now they got to turn it into something else. Well, they need to push the bottom tower out of it because it's going to be quick respawns, 20 seconds for the puck.
Radiant's courier has been
Get the
killed.
courier kill. XCJ won't get caught by that spear. They want to try and keep this tower alive. Have 2 points in the living armor, but Bat Rider is going to TP in on this. They find XCJ and Aries say, enough of your nonsense. We're bringing numbers. We're taking buildings.
I love that rotation from the bat. I think it's exactly what they need to do to just keep that pace up so they use those ultis at their maximum to hit these towers. Nicely done from Aries. Still 2K lead there for Knights, but
Radiant's bottom
bringing
tower
things back onto their side
And you can
slightly.
see the response. Knights say, okay, you take that tower, we're going to run mid.
tower.
Claiming this one.
If you use Dawn ult and Mars ult, we're ready to fight. We're ready to bring the action to you.
Dire's middle
Alacrity is already finished off now, that Witchblade that he's been working on for a little while. So more armor, more potential to fight around the map there. Gonna clear through a few more of these stacks that were built up too.
Yeah, White Album, that stack was made for him, so he'll be nicely enabled after being slowed down a little bit in the laning phase. So BKB timing still should be decent, not amazing. We do sometimes see these bats have like bots BKB at 15 minutes. That's not going to be the case this game, but finding themselves a little window as Alacrity, another Arcane Rune ready on him.
Lots of heroes heading in that side. And you can see White Album here mid, trying to build into that Blink Dagger actually.
Oh.
So a little bit of a change up again. You know,
Okay.
similar to the Dawnbreaker going for this armlet. It feels like a faster paced fighting tempo game is what Aries are looking for.
Getting on, like, trying to find the drow and stuff like that, I guess, too. I haven't seen a Blink first item bat after bots in I don't even know how long. Maybe a year or two or something like that. It almost always is the BKB just so they don't run out of steam. Because if you go this build, you have 1 or 2 rotations that don't work out for you, you're just completely shut down. So White Album, it's a risky play, but let's see if it's going to pay off for him.
Yeah, and they also have the Blink Dagger on the Mars, so sort of doubling down on this initiation and trying to find that drow. If they do manage to find her, it's pretty big. Now, XCJ, he's going to have to hide off through the trees. They went for the jump onto him, aren't going to be able to connect. Top lane, maybe?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Gets the ulti dropped onto him, and that's going to be an easy one.
That is a lot of commitment, though. Those 2 big ults being dropped down. Alacrity waiting patiently to go. Instant lift, but he's okay.
Follow-up's not there. Rooted, but they can't get the spear. So, yeah, another kill, and showing the prowess of this lineup right now, but they finish off the pipe on the Brood. It does feel like it's sort of getting into that weird territory with Tier 1 towers taken down. You know, what's the route that Knights want to go? Do they want to try and just farm up to their next items? Are they looking to remain aggressive?
Ego's still getting all this free farm, so I think they still want to be pulling the attention away from this Drow Ranger constantly, so probably want to keep playing aggressive with their other 4. Being said, though, are they going to be able to take advantage of the downtime? That Mars ult being used, that Dawn ult being used. Yeah, we do see more itemization being queued up. Ulu, Shard was purchased right away, so definitely recognizing. Versus Puck, versus Tree, it's one of the better answers.
Has a way to stay alive through those ones.
Radiant's
Quick
middle
little dispels,
tower
of
is under
course, so.
attack.
And he's going for the Satanic next into Nullifier.
Okay, I mean, he's got his build prepared.
It's interesting. I mean, Starbreaker is going to do a ton of damage, and Satanic Starbreaker is just a full heal. White Album tries to get out. Do they have
Oh
enough
my
damage?
God.
Oh my goodness.
That Shard on Drow, I don't think he expected it to do that much onto him on the bat. That was very close. If he goes 12, that's a kill for sure.
Yeah.
So fortunate there, White Album's able to survive.
Dire's top tower
But I
is
think
under
also
attack.
speaking to the problem that you're talking about, right? Like, you know, he just has the Overaxe in his backpack right now. If Bat Rider doesn't manage to find a couple of these kills, could fall a little bit behind.
And it's just, there's still no pressure onto Ego. He's just having free farm. But we are seeing Ulu farming better. 800 gold ahead of his counterpart. Just been able to keep it up as level 12 is hit. Ults are back online, so I feel like for Aries, there was no time wasted. They used their ults. Knights didn't punish it at all, and now Aries could look to get another big catch.
Trying to hunt into the area, and, well, they ping exactly where Ego is. But he is retreating back behind the Tier 2 tower now, recognizing the danger that could be coming his way. And Well, no chance here for Aries to find a punish. I believe that's a courier bringing on out. Is that a mech for the Rubik? It is.
I think it is, yeah, TK. He's been able to quietly farm up a storm. All right, so they have a mech advantage over their counterparts here, only for a couple seconds, though. We are going to see the Brood finish it very soon after he has his pipe. Can they finish up this tower? They want to get a kill before they show themselves, but not going to be the case, so gonna have to just show themselves onto mid.
Sending out the Brood Spiders to scout across the map, too.
Oh, and look at this. Of course, Ego, he finds the Grove Bow. There's a Drow in the game and a Puck, so it's got to, you know, Gaben just has to bless them with that item every single time, it feels like. Is the push top, Red Panda in a very dangerous spot.
They get the silence onto him. They get the combo. Stolen Illusory Orb. Leashed. Chase.
White Album.
Back.
He's committing.
He's right onto one. He finds him.
Instant root.
They have enough damage, though. Alacrity tries to get out of there. The combo, but he got him for the lift. Dead instantly. They bring in Ego, though. Look at this damage coming out. The hypothermia. It blows up onto one, trying to find another. Aries, they're just getting melted. Oh, Ego, he does way too much damage on this Drow Ranger. Ulu cannot get on top of him, trying to Arma toggle for all he's worth.
Bounce.
But Ego just came in and started ripping him to shreds. A couple more hits onto TK. We've got to look at this Drow's damage at the end of this fight. We'll jump away, but it's going to be a dead TK.
He did, I think like 5,000 damage, it feels like, or something in this fight. Let's take a look. 5,500, holy crap, at 20 minutes on a Drow. What a timing to show up to the fight. It looked beautiful for Aries. They connected perfectly. Alacrity panicked, jumped to the opposite side of the arena, but was already pretty much dead. But man, what a moment. Look at the Drow running. Like, it couldn't have been at a better time for Ego to show up.
And it speaks to what you were talking about earlier of, like, when all the big ultis are down, Drow reigns supreme.
Yeah.
And all the ultis got used at the start of the fight. The end of the fight, they didn't have any left over.
I look at, oh my god, like, I don't think I've ever seen a better setup there for multi-shot. Literally everyone just getting plowed, getting destroyed by the hypothermia that he picks up early. That was picture perfect for Ego.
Unreal. And, you know, the split out there after, they've got way too much damage on this Drow.
Still not bad for Aries to get all these like initial kills, but yeah, the Drow having such a good game is going to be problematic for them to just get on top of her. Ulu still has really good farm though. He's going to be having that Satanic really early on, but Ego also having that phenomenal start.
Well, in the hypothermia, it's just regeneration that it reduces as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's not a lifesteal thing.
No.
So the Satanic is still going to be quite strong. You can see here, though, Dota Plus win probability up to 68% right now. So they're going to need to get a Scotty or a Shivas or something else to help deal with that Satanic from the Dawn.
Well, it still works the same way. If he gets, if he has, it takes longer to get the stacks though,
Got
right?
it.
If he gets like the 7 stacks, then it's going to be a 70% reduction, but that's a lot of hits.
Yeah.
Of course, but he is probably going to have to hit that Dawnbreaker a lot because of how tanky she is to be able to get it, but that means that she also explodes, right? So we saw there how many stacks he had. I think he had 7 stacks on multiple heroes there, so we saw like the 400 burst damage that comes out from it. So still only a 1K lead though for Knights.
Yeah.
Aries doing a very good job of just keeping this game very close.
Well, and you know, you imagine how different that looks if Drow is one of the people that's caught in that arena. She just blows up too. So it feels like this is, as many of these games have turned out to be, a factor of vision, you know, initiation, who it is that actually gets that jump. And with a Bat Rider draft, you know, you imagine you have some of it, but then you've got these sneaky little heroes on the side of Knights.
3 of them, right? The 3 annoying heroes that can play in tree lines and constantly be hunting. I mean, even kind of 4 of them, because the Puck also can do some tricky stuff.
Look at the spider spam. Like,
yeah.
This is just some map hacks turned on right there. It's craziness. As Ulu, he is how close now? Almost at that Satanic.
Super farmed.
Unbelievable.
If he can survive long enough, if they can, they need to just be able to get on the Drow is the thing, right? They need to be able to find Ego and get him inside of that big combo. Ego, though, I like that he's going for this really early on, going straight for BKB next, so then even if he is caught inside of it, we'll have some ways to get out of that Mars ult, reset his positioning, perhaps. Closest game that we've had here so far, though, with the series. The last 2, like we said, very one-sided either way. This time, still looks like anybody can take it.
Right. BKB soon to be online for Drow. Just hitting really hard. And, well, Aries, I think, again, does the game plan change at all? Because what we've seen 2 or 3 times in a row is just Mars Arena into Dawnbreaker ulti. Do you ever want to bring the Dawnbreaker in first and like let her be a part of the fight to begin with, or do you have to sort of, you know, set it up where you're finding these other heroes to initiate?
I think you probably just set it up. When you have the double blinks, when you have the Bat going for blink, you just use that Dawn from elsewhere. So now BKB timing though. Bat and Mars BKB. Same time though, Knights looking to fight. They have a blink on Tree, so sure there's BKBs on Aries, but they can still get caught by this overgrowth.
Felix pops it up. They blink away. Shanxi looking for a moment here. A bottled invis for Alacrity.
Who are they gonna find?
A ton of vision around.
Wait, what
the heck just happened?
What just happened
right
with the bounty runes? Wait, was there actually like 9 bounty runes?
There's no way that, no.
Was that a bug?
I
Did they
think
all
there's a
attack
bug.
at the same time? And
Yeah,
it looked like
so.
it killed. Wait, what the heck? We gotta replay that. What the heck did I just? There's no way that there was 10 bounty runes. Just, that's more than even existed. Yeah, okay. We'll say it was the spiders getting like a multi-hit onto a bounty. That was weird.
I just report it. There it is.
Bug found. Bug fixed.
They're arachnids. Yeah, nice.
True.
Come on now. 12 to 12.
Aries. Ooh, double smoke.
It hurts a little bit. And White Album.
Ooh.
They see him.
He's got BKB though.
Do they decide to go? Felix tries to find that bushwhack. Not going to be there. They still have full vision in that area with all of those spiders down. And you can see Aries really struggling to deal with, you know, just everything that those spiders give them.
Yeah, the vision control, even chasing couriers. I'm seeing a little spider hit a courier for 17 damage. Can't quite bring it down, but gives information. When they see those couriers flying over, on top of them having these wards here, they know exactly the positioning of Aries. So is Aries going to be able to get this snag, get this grab? It's been staying very close, but Aries, they have to be still very clean. I feel like their lineup still relies on just not making too many mistakes, because that's where the Drow is just going to be able to thrive. Have to get some big connections. That's why you see them being so careful with their ults.
And, you know, Aries have done a really good job also of keeping, you know, even on this farm, in spite of losing out on what feels like a couple of these key moments, and, you know, having a free farm Drow and all the rest of it. You look at Ulu, Satanic Dawn. He's got so much on this Dawnbreaker.
And he's got Blink now, so he has an avenue to be able to commit onto this Drow Ranger, perhaps. As top, Felix just gets the lasso.
And an easy bring down.
Ooh, even stolen sharpshooter. It's
That
a level
is
2 one
good.
as well, too. That is a lot of damage for a Rubik.
The charge up time is still the same on that, right? I'm not crazy. Okay. A big win for him with the Greaves completed. So Greaves and Pipe done on Brood, queuing up the Lotus Orb after. But like we said, as often happens in these games, you have one stomp one way, one stomp the other way, and then game 3 becomes a lot more contentious.
It's been that for quite some time now. Lasso on cooldown 70 seconds. Is Knights able to take advantage of that at all? Right now it's just been a bit quiet from them, sitting back and just farming. Scared to really take fights into this enormous amount of team fight that we've seen Aries have.
Oh, Brood has actually bought the point booster. Oh, so more ways to try and control the vision.
Okay, that's interesting.
Panda.
This'll come in handy.
I was hoping to see that we get to see the spider thing.
Yeah.
Spider thing again. I'm pretty sure we're right about that, but
There's no way there were like a bunch of
no. Can't be
bounties there.
Especially not that many.
Shanxi
Fly by.
has the spear, but the spiders come out, he has to back away. So controlling this area of the map, controlling the outposts, definitely an important thing to keep on for the side of both of these teams.
Yep. Next fight, likely to dictate who's going to get that Roshan, and Aries is honestly, they're shrinking the gold lead. It was 2K down to 1. Dota buff still favoring Knights for this Drow lineup, but Aries doing a good job of keeping it very contested here.
Oh, that's a nice one. Enchanted Quiver. He's actually going to keep the Elven Tunic, though.
Yeah. Did he give the... Oh, they're actually not holding the Grow Bow on anyone, huh? Cool.
Yeah.
Don't see that too often.
Going for the Lincoln Sphere, too, on Ego. He's almost got that one completed.
Yeah, so just try not to get lassoed.
Yeah. Alacrity will push out these side lanes.
Also
and-
going Lincolns.
Yeah, I mean, to deal with... Wait, is that CM multi?
Probably.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Red Panda killing spiders.
Not going to get a good one off in the fights, and the game has slowed down to the point where they are just playing an economy game. So
yeah,
sure, why not?
Makes sense.
Big rune down bottom. Arcane, Aries, they do have everything back up again. They've got this lasso at the ready for White Album. They're maybe even looking to get a catch, and they're setting up for this area for the next Roche. Or for the first Roche, sorry.
Yeah, it's crazy that this is this much emphasis placed on it for just the Aegis.
It just opens up so much, right? Because if Knights gets it, then your big ult wombo combo kind of thing might just be counteracted.
True.
So I think Aries really wanting to prevent this Drow from being able to go control this area.
And when that happens, it does mean there are many heroes down bottom for Knights ready to push this tier 1 tower. It's only Alacrity that was shown on the wave. And the rest of them now holding hands in the Radiant jungle. Scan connects.
They may expect them to be, they may think they're doing Roche right now, so this could be that big fight that we're looking for.
Yeah, smoke up as 5 running across the map as quickly as possible.
Lincoln's is coming on the courier right now to Ego. We see level 20 finished up for the Dawn, so a lot more damage coming out from her.
And Mars shows himself for a moment.
Okay.
They move in. They take down that vision. See everything. Aries walking through Death Valley. Oh,
Coil 4
together. The combo. Oh, but they get the arena down. Ego has to back away from him. They get one round of control. When the buyback comes out, White Album having the lasso onto Tree. I'm not sure if that's a big enough target. Flyby, the good CM ulti, but on the low ground, do they have enough to get him out of there? The Dawnbreaker ulti, it's going to be broken immediately. They die back on the CM, get the Hurricane Pike to try and get away, but White Album right on top of Ego. He needs some help from his team, and Alacrity shows up, but it's not going to be enough.
Ulu's too strong. They can't deal with this Dawn.
It's way too much damage. Jaunt to get away. Alacrity looks to escape from this one. And Flyby, he also is going to go down. So Knights, they lose 4 after the dieback from CM, trying to find another little pickoff. Another salvo of the kill, and the Witchblade, it's going to be enough. So Alacrity manages to find another pickoff. I don't know if Aries can actually take this comfortably.
I don't think so. The spam from the puck, he'll just be able to constantly reset, jump in and out. So kind of like an even trade, but it does cost buybacks from the side of Aries to be able to do so. Alacrity, 4-man coil, but quick defensive moves from Aries. Ulu, it's crazy how tanky he really is on this Dawnbreaker. He's able to just hold his ground, keep hitting targets.
Yeah, the Drow is going to need more damage beyond just this Lincoln's for her to really stand toe-to-toe with Ulu. I mean, if she's just hitting away, eventually Ulu will die, but like they can close the gap in between.
Exactly. Yeah, Ulu, and now a full BKB. Has a blast trick as well, too. Little fortunate things versus the Drow, plus armor on top of the armlet. Very tanky, so is able to endure. Knights all back up in Alacrity. Big winner. He ends up surviving through all of it, so level 20 up on this puck now, too. After that initiation, it looks really scary for Aries, but they have so much defensive posture versus this puck coil with those BKBs. That being said, though, Alacrity, when he is able to survive these long fights, he gets the levels, and BKBs seem to be the big name of the game there for Aries to be able to protect themselves. Puck level 21, you have to expect that 25 is going to be on the horizon pretty soon, so Dream Coil Pierce's magic immunity, that could be the thing that allows Ego to keep his distance from these targets.
Right, and then, of course, if you can get out multiple rounds of that multi-shot, I mean, that's where so much of that damage came in a really good arena after the multi-shot.
Ooh!
To make sure they caught it.
Mars ult ends up whiffing. Felix with a quick blink, able to get out of it.
Nice play. Gets him away from there. They are going in for that refresher. And we also saw level 20 gain for Drow Ranger after the fight. So now that multi-shot damage increase, you can also look towards that 25. Might go for the +3 waves.
Could be. Usually do see the other one taken, but definitely a possibility. And now Mars ult is down, so for Aries, the fight is a little bit more complicated. 16-17, a super close game right now.
I mean, he has the refresher if he wants to go for it on the Mars, if he wants to commit fully for it. And we're, what, 1,000 gold away from Broodmother Ags, too?
Okay. Could be a big timing.
I actually think that Broodmother Ags might be pretty huge in these little fights, too. You know, there's so many ways that they're just trying to get on top of the Drow, and they kind of need the spells to do that. I feel like they might be able to lock down that Dawnbreaker a little bit.
They still have, I mean, it's very long duration BKBs though. Dawn had picked it up after the fight, so still 9 seconds. I believe Mars's is also 8 seconds, and so is the Bat. So you might be able to force BKBs and kind of cause some panic, but yeah, we'll see. I've never been really impressed with this Ags on the Brood, to be honest with you, so I'll see what it's going to be able to do instead of having something straight, just like a Hex, to be able to get that straight control that we've seen much more popularized.
And TK just, you know, he's playing as a Brood mother himself right now, going in for the pipe next, it looks like, after the Greaves.
That's working.
Yeah.
It's definitely looking pretty good to tank up his team.
That's what you want to see. So the main separations here being...
They get the lasso.
Managed to break, managed to find him. Spear, is it going to be enough damage? Yes, it will.
And it's
They drop everything for that.
Arcane Rune Lasso, beautifully done from White Album. Blink Force Staff to break the Lincolns and then gets the grab. And yeah, all under an Arcane Rune, so we'll be back up with the ult in any moment. As soon as the puck's back up, Lasso's back up, so they can do it again. Harry's making some really crisp moves around the map.
Yeah, again, hard game for the puck after, you know, picking it into the Rubik and then getting that Batrider fourth. As much as there were issues in the laning stage and with the early rotations, we're seeing the value of this for White Album.
Yeah, and we're seeing the value of moving this Dawn as this carry, right? Ulu having a phenomenal time. Full Basher finished up, and now they have Roche opportunity. Dawn allows you to do this kind of easy to keep everybody at full health, too.
The root, it comes out onto CM.
So they are scouting. 38 seconds for puck, though.
Trying to maintain that vision. Have to be careful about the initiation coming out. Lasso back up in 15 seconds. Roche getting lower and lower.
And they see the refresher on the Mars, too. So right now they know that Mars ult is down, but there's another round that he can just go for.
Throws it out there. Doesn't connect with the Hoodwink. The Bushwhack. They also have Manta done, but I think this one is just going to be for Aries, barring some type of a really tragic mistake, but no. The Aegis in hand, and Aries going to be able to retreat out with that.
That was a big hit. White Album just coming in clutch, getting the grab, but now
White Album giving his life away almost. Manages to barely escape from that. Dawnbreaker ulti comes in, gets pushed back for a moment, doing a good chunk of damage. They get the silence out afterwards onto the CM, and now the Bushwhack connects onto the Rubik. Ulu trying to escape from this. They lose 2 heroes quickly, and Ulu will manage to TP out.
Oh my god, I cannot believe White Album survives. That was so close to him also being brought down. Right after we give him a little bit of praise, jumps in and does a pretty reckless play. Ego sits in the back line. He's able to just free fire.
Now, I mean, with 30 seconds on the sideline, you kind of need these supports in these fights to play intercept. It's hard to just run in straight as your Dawnbreaker or your Batrider, as we see in that last fight. So Tier 2 tower gets taken in spite of having the Aegis on the side of Aster.Aries.
I have to be careful how they do these type of jumps. Has to be kind of perfect, as any type of these mistakes add up quickly. 4K lead now, even though they're playing into that Aegis. Now downtime there for the Mars ult. Sure, he's got Refresher, but see now Knight's taking over the map a little bit. And I'm continuing to just look at the puck. I think that's going to be one of the big timings that just unlocks Knights. Then the Ego just has freedom to distance himself once the coil pierces that immunity. So I think for Aries, pace has to be picked up still. I want to see them just continue to be very aggressive with this lineup.
And it's also been Felix somehow finding these like clutch Bushwhacks in these initiations. Because again, if Alacrity goes in first, we've seen there's ways to break this Lincolns to find that lasso onto the puck. So you kind of are at a little bit of a detriment if you have to jump with Alacrity. But if they can find, you know, whether the tree is scouting things out or the Hoodwink scouting things out, that's been, it feels like, the avenue to find success against Aries here.
And if it's a situation where they overcommit and overjump with their 3 cores, the supports are going to get caught by like 3 or 4 spinner snares and not be able to join the fight too. So perhaps this Ags and the Brood is going to be really annoying for the supports on the side of Aries as well.
Oh, Ulu.
They see him. Still has Aegis.
And does have BKB.
Felix is in.
They try and blow him up in time, and oh my god, he just dies.
Ego has DD.
He's got BKB TP, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to get him out of here, actually. Tries to escape. Overgrowth, they got him immediately. Tries to turn and get out of here. They show up with the rest. The spear, it's not going to connect in the way that they need it to, but Ego off to the side. He's able to get the Manta, but the lasso is there. Illusion's trying to do what damage they can. He's going to have a Force Staff when he comes out of there, but Alacrity's still going crazy. They jump right on top of Ego, got him caught with Ulu, but the bushwhack, no, it's not quite gonna be enough. They have the damage out from Felix, tries to get the snipe. Alacrity continues to survive through this fight. He's getting close to 25 off this as the chase is there, but look at all these heroes still alive for Aries. He's killing off supports, but the Drow is gone. And Flyby, the last one left behind. Alacrity tries to keep him alive and actually does get a little bit of an escape there.
Bash.
Control. Flyby, living, burning.
No way.
Dude, are you kidding me? What in the heck? He almost has enough Ulu dying in the fountain, but he is gonna survive. They lived through this one. Bat Rider eventually brought down low, but not gonna die. Alacrity gets the coil for the kill.
Oh my god.
And, I mean, if Red Panda's not careful, Alacrity Puck is something to behold as he's hunting, but won't be able to find the finish onto CM.
Look at the spell casts right here. I mean, you can look at the damage as well, too. 13,000. Doesn't actually show all of them, but mine did. 10 orbs, 10 waning rifts, 6 phase shift, etc. Just constantly resetting in and out of the fights. Ego, he gets caught really quickly there from White Album, but Alacrity is kind of the one to clean up the fight and make it look good for Knights anyway.
As we see this replay here, I mean, again, to catch Ulu out of this, and you think of how different this could have looked if Ego didn't get caught.
Yeah, it's a great job from White Album to just get right on top of him, even though that quick Manta came out. Oh my god, this is turning out to be such an exciting game. We have 25 on Puck and now also 25 on the Dawn.
Oh, and that Force Staff, it was so close to getting out of the Mars Arena, but the BKB wore off as he was mid-shift. And Felix there came in with the Sharpshooter to try and get the damage out. Alacrity, just the one doing the deeps in this fight.
And it was right, I believe, right before the fight started, he just had got the Octarine too.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what unlocked everything for Alacrity to salvage this fight for his team as level 26 on this Puck now. Also finds himself a... Okay, he's actually going to keep the Stormcrafter. I was going to say, they found the Timeless Relic. So I was wondering if he's going to take it, which would unlock even more damage for him. But a whole nother item. He literally finished Octarine right before the fight. Now has the overwhelming Blink finish, too. What a play from Alacrity.
I mean, the scary thing is there's more room to grow for this Puck, too.
Yeah, the Dagon's soon to come.
Go in Dagon, and then eventually you've also got the Brooch.
Yep.
Could become another thing that just opens him up. I mean, Aries... You still got this incredibly farmed Dawnbreaker, so much damage, the Basher's done, and still queuing up this Nullifier. Like, do they have the supporting cast that they need to make this work? It feels like it still needs to be that perfect fight for Aster.Aries.
It feels like harder fight still for them, yeah. They need to utilize these ults perfectly. If a lasso gets blocked by Linken's, you know, the fight's probably just going to go completely the side of Knights. And now also... There is the Puck 25, which I think that's a big timing for Knights just to be able to keep the control versus this Dawn, versus this Mars, versus this Bat Rider. Because Dawn, in all these fights, Dawn has ways out of everything. Either a Satanic to dispel Root, Starbreaker to break Coil. Now you can't actually do that. He's just able to just pop that Coil and trap you inside of it. So looks like it should be harder for Aries. That being said, they've been impressing it nonstop this game.
5 heroes smoked together for Aries. They show briefly on the mid-wave. Lots of scribbles coming out from Ego. Do they realize what is coming their direction? The scan, it's going to hit. So they know on Aries that up this high ground, the rest of Knights are there.
Both scans hit.
Spinner
perfectly.
Snare, they're going to run right through it. Reveal themselves on TK, get the lift onto Brood, trying to do the damage. They find the Bushwhack, jump in from Alacrity, finds the coil onto 2. The lasso connects though. Do they have the damage to kill him off in time? Alacrity's getting low. Alacrity's falling. He's dead.
No buyback.
Bought out for that one, and now they've got Ego under control. He needs to get the heck out of here. TP's out immediately. This was the fight that Aster.Aries was looking for.
I think they found the priority target. Sure, the Drow is dangerous, but Alacrity after that last fight, I think White Album knows who to go for. If he's able to lasso the Puck and the Mars is able to isolate the Drow, that is the recipe for success. As Aries continue to impress, even though they are at these deficits sometimes in the fights. Woo!
It's a spicy one, man.
Yep.
And they don't have that save right now, it feels like, on Knights to keep people alive. You can see in here, everybody all's in. 5 heroes on top of Alacrity with an arena surrounding them. It's like, what do you do?
It's a perfect fight for them. The Coil, I believe, only catches even onto the 2 supports there, so only the Rubik and CM this time. Alacrity not finding the grab that he wanted to.
Really impressed with Aries and their target prioritization. It feels like they've sort of been, you know, growing and learning even throughout the course of this game almost, the way that it's gone. And, you know, they need to find some other way to transition into more damage coming out from the other heroes besides just Alacrity.
Just great recognition of how to take the fights on the side of Ares. Is now a full nullifier if he wants to purchase it on this Dawn.
Pretty big.
But he's I think he's gonna have to sell the armlet if that's the case, though.
Say, really cool, again, like recognizing that last pick Mars and what that's given to him, you know? Like, you have the actual way, the switch up of putting the Dawn to carry has completely, like, you know, opened up a new way to play against Drow where you can just ignore her and put her in the arena.
Yeah. So many different forms. As long as they can do this, like, simultaneous initiation, deal with the puck, grab the Drow in some of these other areas, and not be the ones initiated on, then they could have that recipe for success. But still, I think initiation is going to be one of the big things that we're looking at now as these 25s and stuff have come out. Beautiful jump there from Ares. Shrink that gold lead down to 0.
Right, the 25s, the Dawnbreaker 25 is done, 2 charges. Batrider also has the sticky napalm added on with the flame break, but this Drow one is going to be the other one to watch for. She's almost 24. I mean, the marksmanship champs, you said, is the one that they tend to go for more often because it's more damage. It could still be the answer for him.
Yeah, he's a bit under-leveled on this Drow. He's been getting... I mean, they're getting so much attention onto him, but...
Yeah. You can also see Aeon Disc almost completed there, I believe, for Felix. We have a refresher Batrider now.
Ooh. Aeon Disc going to be completed also for Alacrity, so looking to not go for so much damage. Seems like he does need some survivability, because, yeah, refresher Batrider, refresher Mars. Hex now also on the Mars. They have a lot of different solutions, a lot of different ways to control the side of Knights. Again, it feels like it's all going to be up to who gets the jump.
Right, and the kills don't come that quickly. It's just that they have so much control on Ares with, like, this Abyssal Blade and everything else now that he will be able to do the assemble of that Aeon Disc, but needs to finish it off before this next fight here.
Yep.
He's, what, 65 gold away?
Just about. It's now Ulu actually gets rid of boots.
Okay.
This is a risky play. They've got to pretty much get that. They have to get the initiation, and that's the case. If they get initiated on, Ulu's just going to be stuck and unable to really move much at all. So it's a risky attempt, but could just work out beautifully for him because it's another way to prevent this Drow from getting out, break Lincolns, etc. So let's see who gets this jump.
Red Panda runs through the spinner snare, so revealing this smoke is going on. And they're going to run through it again, it looks like, over in the mid lane, or at least come close to it.
Successful scan again coming out from Ares. TK he gets a ward down. They have information. They see Alacrity.
He's in position, breaks the smoke there in the trees.
Oh, BKB.
Jumps in, dodge. Gets out of there for 1. Can they get out of there for 2? The control is there, the lift. Trying to bring him down, but they're leashed. Is it going to be enough? Aeon Disc, it's going to be assembled now. Alacrity, he turns this one around. Gets the jump away. Overgrowth stolen, though, by the Rubik. That's pretty big. And Dawnbreaker in no man's land. Completely isolated here. Pops the BKB. Ego tries to back out. Is able to turn Alacrity, forcing the rest of those supports away. Ego walks away, gets out of there. The spear's not going to connect. They have enough damage. Knights, they're right on top of them. The Overgrowth stolen from TK, but they don't have the damage for Ego. A triple kill for Alacrity, running in for more as TK in trouble, tries to orb away. But Alacrity has the rundown with the ultra kill. He is the game changer in this one.
And the Roche as well right afterwards. Again, I mean, Alacrity, he's able to run rampant in the fight. Ego's able to distance himself. And yeah, Ulu, he goes for this all-in nullifier play, but you see he's so slow. As soon as he gets hit by even like 1 or 2 of these frost arrows, he's just stuck in place. And it's an awkward initiation from Ares. Even though they have the vision to start the fight, all of Knights is prepared perfectly. That Aeon Disc unlocks so that he can survive, and then he just deals with the supports perfectly.
I feel like the one thing that's going to be scary about this next engagement is that they won't have that unlock Aeon Disc play again to run, which is a little bit scary. So if they can proc that early on Alacrity, it's going to be rough. But like you said, a great play here from Knights to separate themselves, but also taking advantage of the fact that Ulu didn't have that mobility he needed. And, well, we'll see if we even get another one, because this is Aegis down, and now Knights walking high ground, taking down buildings. It's a tier 3 tower dead.
They've blown the game wide open. Lincoln's now even finished for the support on the Hoodwink, so more ways to cover their puck, more ways to cover the Drow Ranger too. Feels like Ares, they've had such good team fights, but one mistake like this versus this type of draft, it's critical.
taking so much damage. Ulu back up in 9, Mars back up in 2. Ego getting the Lincolns broken on him. White Album jumps in, gets the lasso to pull him out of position. He still has the Aegis Spear connecting to the tower. Even in the midst of that one, Alacrity jumps in, has to back away. Ulu right on top. Oh, he's gonna break it. No, he didn't break it. Ulu is still living. Double Starbreaker. Ego runs out of there. XCJ Overgrowth just to escape. They've lost 2, and the rest of Knights has to retreat away from this.
Oh my, White Album actually does a clutch play. He's gonna drop top, but he actually refresh blinks before the second salvo of spells comes out from the puck. Somehow ends up surviving on this Bat Rider as well. Looked pretty scary there for Knights for a second, getting that Drow under tier 4s, but they throw away the supports to protect her.
And Alacrity trying to finish off this deadly build is finishing off the Revenant's Brooch.
Has to save buyback though.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really important for the next fight. So even through Aegis, Aster.Aries is able to find a better initiation this time around. And they have another round of their ults too. Refresher is still ready on the Mars. He's got both ults. Lasso is ready on the Bat Rider.
And the weird thing about this game too is that that's only the second Roche that got claimed.
Yep.
It was only the Shard. So there's still a lot of room to grow for all of these heroes. You look at it, Aghanim Scepters can still come online, all the rest of it.
We have potential for an absolute bonkers late game if this game keeps going like this. The back and forth coming out from both teams.
This is the type of Dota that I was hoping to see this morning. Let's go. Some China DPC. That's what you want to see.
Everyone's playing, like nobody's like being left out or anything too. Everybody's playing really well. You see the steals coming out from the Rubik. It's a tough game for the supports on Ares because if the Alacrity's not dead, these supports just are getting eviscerated from all the spells and everything like that. But either way, all of them doing a good job of covering each other.
And still very even on the kill score, 26 to 28. It's 10,000 gold lead. At this stage of the game, that obviously matters, but it matters significantly less than the buyback status. All the rest of it, you can see the win probability, it's remained pretty constant throughout. They have buybacks on most heroes for both teams. Tree is based on cooldown, and so too is the CM. And besides that, it's mainly just the Brood that could be a target.
Okay, Alacrity does commit. I believe he does have buyback anyway because he's so damn farmed on this puck. He's gonna, I mean, those supports are just gonna die in seconds. I mean, they already pretty much were, but Alacrity, his puck, we've seen how special it's been throughout this DPC. This is another game just like it. We're in for an absolute treat now these next few moments. This next fight is gonna be absolute chaos, and here comes the smoke.
So Revenant Brooch, what is it that makes it so strong in these games?
And this one, not so much because there's not so many of these like Ghost Scepters and stuff like that, but the damage potential from the puck just becomes so much stronger once those BKBs do run out.
They find the Bushwhack. That's a huge one. Jumps right at the start, but the BKB and the Force Staff away. That keeps him alive.
Okay, not the most ideal there for the coil, only onto a single target.
And they get the blink back. Something to watch for if they can obviously find those initiations, but the Bushwhack becoming less relevant now that Force Staffs and everything else is online to defend him.
Was the BKB forced though, so if they do see this Mars again and they can get this full catch onto him, they could just kill him before he gets that refresh BKB off.
And again, for both of these teams, so much on the line. It comes down to this one game here. But realistically, for Ares, they're trying to avoid relegation down to DPC 2. And for Knights, they're playing for a spot at a major. If they can clean up these games against some of these teams, they're definitely in a pole position to make their way to Lima. We'll see if they can actually close these ones out here and keep this alive, but all of those types of things could hinge on what happens in the next couple of minutes here.
Yeah, it's all the small plays, all the little mistakes, all those are going to be the most important thing to look out for. As Ego did, by the way, go for that multi-shot talent that you were mentioning, so really just looking to throw out multiple salvos of it as these longer team fights go off, because it feels like the longer the team fight is, Knights is going to look great. If Ares is able to explode targets quickly, those short fights, they're going to look successful, so eyes on that for these next moments as Ego. They're putting the Lincolns up on him. They have 3 Lincolns to be able to protect versus these lassos, so it's hard for White Album to get an opportunity.
They go for the Arena of Blood, grants team the extra regen talent on Mars as all the 25s are finishing up here. Brood the next one up. You talk a lot about that Silken Boa slow and mischance percentage, which is, you know, still a little ways away from the 25 for him. But the Hex is done and the smoke up. White Album rooted.
It's actually being so annoying. It's catching all the rotations every time, so they're able to distance themselves again.
type of item that gets better with higher skilled team play, and then of course the later the game goes.
Yeah, it's all about that map control and vision, all about initiations and stuff too, as we see spiders scouting, spinner snare scouting. Even though Aries is smoked, Knights is completely aware of it.
TK gets a good ward down. I mean, that might come back to haunt him later on the side of Knights if they don't get that one taken away.
A nice sneaky one, both teams looking to play around their vision, and Flyby did finish up his Hex now too in these last few moments as well. So can potentially just lock a target down and kill them before they get a BKB off, because no Lincolns or anything on the side of Aries to protect versus those instant grabs.
And we're almost at the Puck, Aghanim Scepter, Synth.
Ags and almost level 30. Oh, Alacrity. He's like, move over, Drow Ranger. I'm the carry.
Dude, the Dream Coil Rapid Fire? Let's go.
It's all the little things. Like even every little, all the talents, of course, will add up, but it's all the damage that comes out even from Coil. It becomes pretty crazy how much damage that ability does too once you get the 20 talent.
And watching now and waiting for this next Roche respawn. So again, the key thing to watch for here is they have vision on this high ground. Aries
could be huge. Yeah, that ward could do everything, because as we said, it feels like the game, even though there's the 12k gold lead, it's all going to be up to these initiations and buybacks.
This is a 12k gold lead at 54 minutes, which makes a pretty big difference there.
Especially when pretty much that entire 12k gold is sitting in the bank of heroes, right? 5.6k on Drow, 5.5k on the Puck, and 2k on the Hoodwink, so that's pretty much that gold
Look
separation.
at this wraparound. This wraparound that's coming in from Aries.
This ward.
They see Alacrity. He blinks away just in time as they were heading up to that high ground, trying to find him.
Just playing around their vision, setting up the snare. They get the vision there for a second.
Felix, he finds him. Coil onto 3. Do they have the damage for the follow-up? Multi-shot starts going out. They bait out that BKB. The lasso, it's connecting. They get a second round of it. Look at the damage on the Ego. They ripped him to shreds.
Has to buy back.
Ulu, now he's in pretty far. The Hex is there, the control onto White Album. Alacrity, he's still very tanky, very strong in this fight. Ego runs forward, wants to find a couple of heroes. They're all running out together. Great spear comes out, and now the control onto Felix.
Another one.
Onto the Drow. Do they have the damage though? There's nobody there to follow up, and Alacrity, he's zoning everybody else away. Knights, they don't have the damage. The panel said they were going to have issues with it, and that is very true. The Hex comes out, and now Ulu all alone, starting to get controlled. The damage coming out from Ego. Do they have enough? But the Satanic, he's living through it. Flyby, he's so low on this Drow.
Leashed.
Do they have the damage? They're starting to bring him down. Can they get on top of Ego? 4-step away. The root, the jump. Can they get the control? The break on everybody. Ego's going to go down. That's a dieback. Did Aries do it? Oh, God. White Album with the triple kill. They were able to outlast with that Dawnbreaker.
I mean, this time, it's crazy how the carry players are actually not the ones actually doing the carrying. This time, look at the damage from Bat. I think he just explodes this Drow Ranger with the double flame break talent. With all those sticky napalms, he dies in a heartbeat once he gets lassoed. White Album finding the perfect target. Holy moly. And yeah, that's the buyback from the Drow. Alacrity has to buy back to prevent any further damage to come out here, but Aries, they brought that gold lead down to 0. Such good execution.
12 seconds away. I mean, if they find Alacrity right now, they jump in. He's going to get the jaunt away, has to escape from there, trying to cut this creep wave, but Alacrity, I mean, if they catch him and kill him, that's game.
He's got to go back. He's pushing the limits here. He has his Ags at base with the Synth about to be finished up too, but he's just trying to buy time for that Drow to respawn. Roche, it's back on the menu, so it looks like Aries, they'll be able to get this one here, and that is a big one. That is that Refresher Shard here, so could potentially have another, could potentially have the Dawnbreaker now having double BKB, double Satanic, multiple forms of Starbreaker, etc. too, on top of everything else.
And Shanxi on this, Mars has done so much in that last fight, finding that double spear, found the Drow, found the Hoodwink, and now also has this Arcane Blink. So the avenues of finding that initiation are so much more clutch.
Yeah, so much quicker, so much harder for them to try to avoid it on the side of Knights. They give him the Aegis. Yeah, I think Ulu...
He bought back.
Yeah, Ulu didn't have to buy back. Ulu actually spends his gold. See, okay, well, doesn't matter. I think he's going to be able to farm that gold anyway in a second here, but... Yeah, prioritizing the heroes that did use buyback. And yeah, sometimes when you commit so deep into these fights too, their base is right there. So those buybacks, you really got to see the true effect of Aries with them.
So there is a really interesting thing that's about to happen in 2 minutes. I think we're actually going to see these 60-minute items.
I think so too, and there's a lot of really big ones. Apex for Drow. If there's a giant string that comes out either for Dawnbreaker or for the Mars, could unlock crazy
or
potential.
Force Boots even. Force Boots would be huge for Ulu, I feel like.
Force Boots, I think, for me, I'll say right now, I think Force Boots are actually the best tier 5 item. I think they unlock, they literally open up an item slot for you, and it's old Force Staff plus a Dispel. It's the speedy Force Staff because it's actually faster rate that you move with it, and it also opens up a slot and stuff like that. We'll see if we get there because we're seeing the wards already start getting prepped. These teams, we see how much they do get ready for them, for those tier 5 neutral items, even perhaps warding their own Ancients.
Yeah, Aries still, you know, aware of the current situation, which is that if they lose a couple of heroes, you know, you don't have buyback on this Mars, you don't have buyback on the CM, you could potentially just get taken out. They need everybody, every single one of their heroes to make these team fights work well for them. But of course, it's really Knights that are on the back foot right now, having bought back on Alacrity, on that Drow, on that tree.
Yep. Ooh. Did they see Flyby there for a second? They did, but they can't commit forward there. And do it, Dawn. Yeah, Ulu doesn't have the Aegis, but we'll be able to finish out that buyback, so has it ready now too.
59 minutes, and we're here.
Still feels similar of these initiations, right?
I know.
Can they find the Drow? Can they deal with the puck? Right now, it is seeming like Aries has some answers, but now we're seeing a bit of a change up here, Alacrity. Now he's got a crit. He's level 30, so he's got that rapid fire.
Oh my god. And probably worth it to buy the shard at some point too, right? I feel like that's pretty value.
When you have Daedalus, yeah, I mean, probably. Especially, well, he'll have to farm it first. I think, yeah, I just wanted to prioritize more damage. I think they're starting to really feel that pressure where they're all leaning onto Ego, and now, okay, neutral items. Who's getting what?
Nothing yet spawning, but at the 60-minute mark, Arcanist armor.
That's a good one.
This'll come in handy.
See who decides to get that.
That could be huge to be able to protect the Drow.
Giant's Ring for the Dawnbreaker.
Oh, that's a big one.
Force Boots for Alacrity. Seer Stone on the Mars.
Oh, we're starting to get rapiers queued up
yeah.
too. Woo!
It's
amazing.
we're going the distance here.
I'm loving it. Mirror Shield on TK also. I think that's more likely that Knights want something like a Mirror Shield to be able to protect versus these lassos. But now look at our Mars. Big boy.
Dude, with the BKB, he's going to be so big.
Gotta be giant. Look at that shield.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's going to be soaking up all that damage.
The shield is bigger than the Bat Rider.
Yeah, that's a thing.
All right, so let's see who picked up what. It is going to be Mirror Shield out onto Ulu, so has more protection to be able to deal with this control that was coming out from the side of Knights.
No neutral items yet.
None.
Picked up for Knights that
They
they're
have
keeping. Oh, the Book of Shadows is big too.
They have Arcanist armor, but nobody's holding it.
Fallen Sky.
Wait, that's actually interesting. XCJ, I think you should move a Philosopher's Stone out of your inventory
Yeah.
and take the Arcanist armor.
I think so too, buddy.
Yeah, I think they'll probably tell him soon. I think they're really focused on just the overall aspect of the game right now. Flyby has a Meteor, or Fallen Sky, so has another form of initiation, so see if that one's going to do anything for him too. Level 30 now for the Dawnbreaker. So crazy long distance of the Celestial Hammer. This is, whew, I think, most exciting game that we've had so far here in DPC. I think I said that yesterday as well too, but
Dude,
this
look
one
at that
is
range.
This one is impressing. And oh,
Apex Drow.
they get the Apex on the
Oh
Drow.
my god.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that one very happily.
Boom, and look at the agility. 400 now. 86 armor.
Dude. All right,
Okay.
this is some insanity right here.
They have to get on Ego. They need
Yeah.
to stand in the face of this Drow Ranger, or he's just going to blast right through them.
They take the Force Boots for the Hoodwink.
Okay.
The last item is Book of the Dead, which it looks like they're going to take on Alacrity for the moment. And I imagine he might try and do some switching out between that and maybe the Stormcrafter. We'll see.
We shall see. He's just going to constantly get some push going onto the towers here.
Oh, yeah, that's
Mid
pretty
tower.
nice.
I mean, mid-tower might actually just drop to this. Yep.
Dude, Book of the Dead, the power.
Middle
And then goes for immediately the range creep, or range racks.
Yep. It gives a lot of gold, though. That's the one thing. So we probably will see Ulu be able to get his rapier. However, yeah, has to figure out how he's going to itemize and how he's going to slot this item in.
So the other big thing to watch for here, I feel like, is going to be like Seer Stone's very nice. Book of Shadows is there on the Rubik, and then a Mirror Shield on CM. Not the biggest thing in the world, I guess, to sort of turn around the hexes or what have you, but a smoke up now Aries.
Seer Stone feels massive. The range that you can break those Lincolns and get the catch onto the Drow could just be that big difference maker right now for Aries.
They
Just
find
win
the
fight.
vision hiding away. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
saw the circle of the TP right there, but couldn't get him.
So close. That arcane blink, you see how fast the spear comes out, nearly gets him.
Buyback status. Drowse is about to come back off cooldown. So too will Shanxi on this Mars.
Alacrity about 1 minute away and 1,000 gold. Looks like we might have that 10v10 that we hope for with all these buybacks. It's 2 minutes until Roche does spawn.
Does he have bots too yet on the puck?
Ulu also got an Apex as well too, just to point out. So
Okay.
swaps away from that Mirror Shield. It doesn't feel like the most useful Mirror Shield on the side of Ares because there's not really any targeted spells on the side of Knights, but smoke up.
Just Book of the Deading.
Yeah, the split push is working.
Super annoying to play against, I'm sure, for Ares. Even doing some pretty good damage on that Death Pact coming through. But Knights, this is good. They want to try and find a pick-off here along the top side, waiting for somebody to show on this creep wave. It's going to be the Mars. TK shows for a moment right there.
He's got Book of Shadow, so he's playing a little bit more confident. If he gets Hexed, though, probably just dead. Okay, he will survive. Not quite level 25 on the support yet. I'm waiting to see when the tree hits it, but they haven't been able to find it because I think we say a lot. That tree level 25 talent is also one of the more broken ones if you're able to ever get it to hold targets in place. But
And he switches over and has the Arcanist armor now, too.
yeah. Who's holding? I'm going to check to see who's holding what. I always forget my hockey. I always am scared to click buttons and pause the game or something. Okay, I'm good. All right, so yeah, it looks like both sides do have 5 tier 5s.
Dude, don't pause. Felix will come after you.
I Felix
He's
will
not
kill me.
afraid.
I'm not touching my keyboard now. That's a good point. As the Book of the Dead, and it's starting to really work on
my
those tier
God.
4s even too.
Dude, the neutral items, they're too strong. The Book of the Dead.
They removed Necro books for a reason, and you guys are seeing why. Just kidding. These are super Necro books, of course, but
Even more dangerous to play against.
yeah.
And with Alacrity constantly pushing out these waves, you know, he's kind of the perfect person to hold it. In the fights, it's not going to be as valuable, I feel like, but for these little split push things, it's huge.
Could be very useful to just kill off the supports, though. If he just coils and sends them onto a CM, it's just like, oh man, I'm dead
That's
to
a
Book
good
of the
point.
Dead. That's why they removed this item in the first place. It was miserable to play support versus it. As Ulu, we'll get 600 gold for it instantly.
Jeez. Yeah, 10,000 gold in the bank right now. Can buy that rapier and still have buyback ready.
Yeah, maybe we're going to see some rapiers put at base for the buyback, respawn, grab rapiers, and go.
Do they find a jump there? They're thinking about it.
It's all up to the grabs, all up to these initiations.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Is that, like, one bad fight and the game can literally be over.
For either side.
Yeah.
Yep. Just any small mistakes.
TK gets out of there.
He's really pushing the limit how he's stepping up there. Giving respect to him, though. They see the bat, so they won't look to step forward there.
Right.
They know that the Dawn can always just jump in and join, of course, with that ult.
So 6 minutes past the tier 5 neutral's appearance, and we're waiting for the next Roche, it feels.
2 minutes just about.
Obviously, teams don't know how long it's going to be, but it will be in a little bit here.
Yeah, constantly scouted, both teams having defensive wards this time around, not playing on those aggressive postures. A lot scarier now versus these tier 5 neutrals. It's Tree, the only one without buyback at this point.
Spinner snares to scout the movements. And Spiders also there to just run across the map.
Information, information, information.
Go. Has the marksmanship. He's almost level 29 now.
Okay.
And, you know, the level 30s, that could also become pretty freaking relevant. We already saw it, obviously, on the Dawnbreaker. Puck has it, so the Dream Coil, rapid fire, ready to go.
So much damage. Doesn't use Force Boots. Force Boots dispel? Okay, well, he's just going to take the damage. Could have dispelled off all that sticky and flame break, but oh well, doesn't matter.
And Alacrity shoves it down.
He's doing great split push.
Dude, the Book of the Dead, it's actually working. I mean, it's ending the game, kind of. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's getting so it's causing them to constantly go back and give attention to it, which might get some of them caught if they're not careful. Alacrity has also farmed a crazy amount with it. He almost has Refresher, so secondary set of coil and everything too on top of that rapid fire Daedalus. He might not just be doing the most spell damage in the game, he might actually do the most physical too soon.
And of course, like we talked about, this is a situation where you're giving more farm to Dawnbreaker, has 9,400 gold above what she would need for buyback. So Rapier is very much possible, but it's also a little bit scary. Regen shown there. Roche gonna respawn in 5 seconds.
Such patience from both sides.
Gotta know how dangerous this can be as we get a very up-close personal look at Mars there on the hill. But 4th Roche on this pretty freaking epic game that we've been blessed with this morning. And Roche, do they decide to go for it?
It's going to die. Whoever gets into the moment to get to it is going to die so fast. We see 25 now for the Hoodwink, so Bushwhack Radius. We also saw 25 for Rubik come out a couple moments ago too. So Telekinesis Lift, lots of potential for save and catch. Lots of ways to break those Lincolns too. As the Book of the Dead again, tier 4.
They need to deal with it.
Starting to get whittled down.
It's dropping so quickly. They're losing the tier 4 towers, and Ulu has to come back for this. They have one of the best heroes in the Dawnbreaker for it.
Spinner Snare, catches someone for a second too. Won't be able to get the grab though.
Tried to go for the lift there, but had to jump away, and the root comes out. Guardian Greaves from the Rubik, keeping him alive.
Waiting for the first Rapier. I think he can purchase the first Rapier safely now. Doesn't need to hold on to it, but can save it for a buyback or whatever. So yeah, we see the Courier going down. And he looks like he is going to purchase it, but more focused on the fight. Everything is down to these next few moments.
I mean, if he has Rapier on the Dawnbreaker, double Starbreaker, like, a lot of these heroes are going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, the Broodmother has Aeon Disc, so too does the Puck. But these heroes without it, I mean, it's actually just the Hoodwink and the Drow that don't have it. Everybody else on Knights has an Aeon Disc.
Yeah, could just get exploded. Is he going to hold it, though? The Rapier, let's say, yeah, drops down the Nullifier. He's going to hold Rapier. All right, big damage coming in.
Refresher done on Drow Ranger now. So more avenues to get out of here. They drop down the Seer Stone. Knights
Okay, this is
anticipating a
What are they gonna
movement.
get?
They jump in. The Spear, the Hex, the control is there. Can they kill off this Brood? The big hit, but the Aeon Disc already keeping them alive. XCJ in a little bit of trouble. They have the Hex to turn. Another double Spear. Ego is on the low ground. The CM ulti doing good damage from Panda. But XCJ is going to get caught, going to get killed. Both dead. Ego tries to do the damage from the high ground now.
the throne. The
They're
Book of the
doing
Dead.
good damage. The throne is falling. They need to get out of here now on Ares. They've got to get back home. They run away on Ulu. And showing the power of that Book of the Dead as Knights, they run right in.
And Ares, this could have been way worse. The coil hit nobody. Alacrity literally missed his coil completely in that team fight.
Trying to take it down now. Might Album moves into position. Ego did a ton in that fight, but the jump comes out. Alacrity backs away, and they can't get there in time. The spear, it catches him to the back of the Roche pit. A random one, you don't often see that one comes out, but
Hex.
the lift,
Save.
keeping TK alive. Ulu has to stay in base.
Good lord. I think they could have, honestly, for Ares, that could have gone so much worse. Yeah, he Waning Rift, and it actually split 3 heroes apart, and then he coiled right inside of where he Waning Rift, so it just completely whiffed. But the positioning from Ego ends up being enough there for him to get that cleanup. Flyby gets focused, but he's fine with that. He's the target that wants to get jumped in these situations for Knight still. I think that's the first time Ares has actually gone to jump that Brood, because it was the only target they saw possible. And Knights come out ahead of it.
And Flyby now, you know, has the Aegis on him. So Refresher, Aegis, the Refresher done for the Puck. The Rapier. I mean, these fights, they're so hard to take now for Ares.
Another Rapier for Dawn. This one might be the buyback Rapier one, where if he dies, he'll have that safety net one. But
Yeah, don't want to put that in your inventory.
No.
But Knights, do they feel confident now to go on up to high ground? Do they want to try and get Megas?
might be able to look for this type of battle here, just because the Puck does so much damage. I can't believe he just whiffed the coil. His own Ags griefed him.
Listen, you get one, right?
Yeah, you get one. The one thing is, though, looking at armor, right? Armor values for everybody on the side of Ares, they're not holding the AC on the Dawnbreaker, so you're really seeing why Ego is able to just explode in that damage. So they don't have any real plus armor on any of their heroes, so it's pretty relevant, as also the Book of the Dead is very obnoxious.
Book of Shadows against the Book of the Dead there. Kind of interesting. But yeah, the coil coming down could also just be the nail in the coffin for Ares if Alacrity finds it. He has been the standout player for this Knights team across every game that I feel like we've seen.
Yeah.
And doing it again here on this Puck.
On his signature hero. He's now continuing to look to push and cut some waves. Ares, they're in the area.
Orb,
Goes for the
spear, jump
Dead.
away. After the Book of the Dead.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He's like, wait, nope, gotta keep the lane pushed out. They think he's still down here. TK even looking with sentry wards, perhaps to get lucky with some vision, but can't quite find him.
72 minutes.
Whew.
73 now.
Still feels like initiations, but now soon we're getting the big level 25 for Tree. I saw him take the tome before. We almost have undispellable overgrowth on top of piercing coil, double piercing coil, and all this other crazy stuff.
I mean, again, it's very much feeling like it is Knights in the driver's seat, but it could be anybody's game still.
Yep.
Like, we're on an edge that all it takes is one bad initiation, one bad fight, or one amazing fight from Aries.
Yeah, one type of vision aspect that allows him to get the grab onto the puck or gets them onto the drow, and then Aries is also then probably going to be in the driver's seat themselves. It's super back and forth how this can go.
You see that lane ward that he was right on top of for a second on Alacrity. You stick around there a little bit too long, you get punished.
Yeah, they went to try to set up for him there. No Boots to Travel 2 is being picked up. Mars has the gold for it. Batrider has the gold for it. Not wanting to go for it there. Not looking to get up those, like... They could set up so many global plays on the side of Aries, but just so focused on dealing with the attention of the Book of the Dead, it's probably just distracting them as well, too.
Right. Book of the Dead gets sent out again.
Tree. XCJ trying to find his level 30, or level 25 up top. Should be able to finish it in seconds, and also level 30 on Ego about to be done. So pretty big levels on the side of Knights. Those two will unlock even more potential for these two heroes.
Ulu has gotten so much gold in this game from these freaking Books of the Dead.
Yeah, they don't have a Pirate's hat, but they pretty much do because of those books.
They find and take out that ward now. So Vision at a premium.
400 gold ops ward. I
mean,
love
that's
it.
what happens late game Dota,
Yeah.
man. It gets crazy.
So much gold on the map for everybody. And XCJ, there it is, 25. So eyes on him if he's able to find these roots as well, too. Undispellable can definitely cause problems for Aries, too.
And it looks like that's what they're waiting for. Smoke up. He has boots, but also has that refresher shard ready to go.
Yeah, these fights, now it looks like for Knights, they've got a lot more ways to be able to get into these jumps and get the control that they need versus Aries. Aries, the fight's looking harder, but that being said, still all up to initiations. And
You
who's
see
going
the
to get caught?
Passover. So they put the Fallen Sky now on the puck.
Okay.
And going to give the Book of the Dead to Flyby, who also finished off an AC.
Oh, so maybe he's looking for some type of backdoor play. He
Yeah.
would just be able to just end it. Okay. Let's
They
see.
run out now. With, I mean, with Overgrowth, they could go for the all-in play. Find him. Bushwhack. Control. Coil. Good damage. Breaks the coil. Stunned for a long time, but Ulu, Book of Shadows, keeps him alive. The spear pushes him outside of it, actually.
He tried to do the fancy play, the spear into
And
ult.
Bushwhack pulls him back again. They steal, was that Living Armor? Alacrity jumps in, finds Ulu again, and the stun is there. The Overgrowth Rapier on the deck. Does have buyback. They retreat away. Lasso, the double lasso, the control, Red Panda, the ulti is there, but the root to turn it. Do they have enough damage to bring down the rest of them? Batrider, the rest are starting to drop. XCJ, he has that Overgrowth. And Felix Chauba right on top of him. Dawnbreaker ulti comes through. XCJ gets caught, gets controlled, gets killed. The other fight on the south side still continuing as Alacrity tearing through these supports.
Ulu!
They're
They
both
found
dead. Ulu in trouble. This is going to be a dieback, but the turn! Oh! The save, the stun, the heal! It came out in time!
And now
Ego now trying to get out of there, but the Ancient, they got to keep their eyes on the Ancient. The creeps are starting to take it down. Book of the Dead not being microed. The Ancient is exposed. The pings are there. White Album trying to get back to home to stop this, but he has to keep alive Ulu too. Heals back up. From the Starbreaker, Alacrity right on top. They bought back and got in range. Mars keeping that throne alive, but Ulu is going to get ran down, going to get killed. The throne was at half HP. Aries, they don't have enough left in the tank. Knights are going to close this game out as they run on in and take it down. Alacrity, Fallen Sky, and the Ancient. At the end of the game, 77 minutes, Knights come out victorious.
That was amazing. They have to put so much attention for Drow, but there's an Alacrity in the game. He's able to do so much work. That was amazing. That was